I'm a Flutter developer from Nigeria. I currently work at Even One Health. So I've always loved building Flutter applications and exploring a lot of things in Flutter. And something that really caught my attention a lot is Shorebird code push. So I'll be speaking on Shorebird. So the topic says beyond the stores, instant patch delivering Flutter with Shorebird. So like the topic entails, it's just all about code pushing Flutter using Shorebird. So first of all, before we dive in, we'll first of all talk about the development bottleneck, why traditional stores updates slows us down. So there are cases where we want to make a UI change, just like a design change here, or probably an integration change here. So instead of, and most of the times, what we do is, after making this change, we have to push to Play Store and an App Store, and then wait for 24 to 48 hours before they get approved. And which kind of slow things down, let's say in a case where it's already in production. So it kind of gave this kind of should I say, a poor vibe about the application. And then critical bugs in a crash in production remains active until the user manually is updated. So most users will not actually get this information on time, or likely they might ignore auto updating their applications. And then which is really not cool. So there are lots of bugs on production. So the user have to suffer with these bugs until they auto update from the respective stores. So users often have auto updates off on their phone. Like I believe there is on Play Store and App Store there is an auto update feed there option there where you can turn it on and off. But most users actually leave it off, which leave them with the broken version. So the goal of Shorebird was to fix bugs instantly without a middleman. So app stores and Google Play Store, they are more like a middleman between developers and the end users. So this is the goal of Shorebird. And so what is Shorebird? It's a code push solution for Flutter. So what Shorebird does, it allows you push over the air updates directly to users device. So basically we don't need to start making a push to the respective stores before users get to see an update. Immediately a push is made and then the build is run, they immediately get the updates immediately on their phone. So everybody is happy. Yes, they won't be stuck on a bug release. So it's easier to fix this. So it's created by the founder of Flutter, of course, and ex Google Flutter team. It bypass the store review process for that level changes. So every change that is related to the dat file, it's actually affected by this push. So it's a production ready standard for hot patch in Flutter application. So which means it's not like it's actually there and it's production ready no matter how large an application is for it. So it's actually based for hot patching and updating applications in Flutter. So what happens under the hood? So modifying the engine, not just the code. So basically we are modifying the engine, not just the code. So Shorebird replace the standard Flutter engine with a modified Shorebird engine, which enables to make this push. So on app launch, the Shorebird engine checks the Shorebird server for active patches. So when there is a patch on the first load, let me say I open an application on my phone today. Sorry, excuse me. The engine checks for an update Shorebird server, and if yes, there's one or two updates there. As soon as you close the application and reopen it again, it automatically loads on with the application the second time you loads it. So if it patches it downloads the new compiled that code and runs it instead of the bundled code. So the results, users get updates instantly on the next restart. So like I said, after I open the application on the first time, and then there's an up if there is an update here, immediately the I close the application and restart the application again, I immediately see that update on my end. So what you can patch and what you can patch. So there are actually boundaries of what you can do with Shorebird. So number one, so any logic in that file, so anything inside of the .dat file can be patched. Any UI change, be it widgets, themes, layout, colors, and all you can think of, as long as the UI change related to that code, it can be patched. Then that dependencies also can be patched, like blog, Riverport and provider, HTTP, Riverport, DIO. So as long as it does not require an and a native setup, so we can actually proceed with patching the file. And then we have the native code. So these are on this side uh, files we can't patch for. So for instance, there's an update on Kotlin, Java, or Swift, Objective-C. So if they are native code updates, we can't actually patch them. We have to push direct to the storage for the users to download them. Excuse me. And then native configs and assets. So if there's a configuration inside of Android main first or info.plist, pod file, images, fonts, then it actually have to be updated. So when I mean images and fonts, I'm talking about images and fonts inside of our assets folder. So as long as they're in there, we have to make a push for it. And then when there is a native plugin um, required in the update, so like upgrading maps, camera, or Firebase version, this actually requires us updating natively. So when these changes are made, then we can't actually patch our code. We have to create a new release and push to the respective stores. So the developer workflow. So I'm going to explain how we could actually set up Firebase and how we could set up Shorebird in three commands for to production. So number one, we initialize Shorebird using Shorebird init. So let's say if you've created your application, your Flutter application. So you just run Shorebird init on your terminal, and then it automatically sets up your code. And then you have this shorebird.yaml file in the root directory of your project. And inside of it is the app ID. And then after doing that, you run the next line, which is Shorebird release Android. So this is for Android. Yeah, you can also do the same for iOS, Shorebird release iOS. So it creates the baseline bundle to send to the Play Store. And then this is for patch. So if there's a patch that you need to push, instead of running a release now, you just run probably you want to fix a bug in your code or make a patch. So you just say Shorebird patch Android on your command terminal. Note, the patch is generated by comparing your current code to the released base. So what this means is after after building the patch and then you load the application, it first of all compares the code that you currently have with what is actually coming in. So if there are updates on it here, then it's proceeding downloading the updates via the server, the Shorebird server. So is this allowed? Yeah, I think a lot of questions pop in. Navigating App Store and Play Store policies. So yeah, for Google, fully compliant. So code running in a VM like that can be updated if it doesn't change the app's primary purpose. So as long as there's no the primary purpose of the application is still meant, and then it's more like bug fix or a UI change, then Google fully supports it. And then for update, the update typically change the feature or functionalities, then we are still okay with Apple Store. So rule of thumb, use Shorebird for bug fix and minor tweaks. Use Store update for major new features. So what it says is why Shorebird is really, really reliable is we use it mostly for bug fixes. So when there is probably a bug on our code that we could not detect during development, we could easily just make the fix and push to production immediately. So that's why Shorebird really stands out for. So, but when there are major updates like new features or a real functionality upgrade, then it should be automatically pushed to these respective stores. So cost and performance, the impact on your budget and your app speed. So for the pricing for Shorebird based on patch installs, the free hub trial offers 5,000 patch install per month. So which means you can make 5,000 patch installs per month. So users can close to 5,000 users can actually make installation on a patch every month. And then 100 per month difference compared to it neglects different and negligible difference compared to standard Flutter. Highest performance uses an interpreter. So due to Apple restrictions on GIT, so it may be slightly slower than AOT, but usually impeccable for standard. So which means for iOS, it actually uses an interpreter based on some restrictions from Apple, but it's slower than AOT, but it's not noticeable by the end users. It's very, very not noticeable. So it just go through like that. So why should we use Shorebird? So for fixing bugs in minutes, not days. So immediately we fix the bug, we can make a push immediately. And then retention, keep users on the latest crash-free version. So let's say a build we push is having some errors that's actually stopping a user from proceeding. Let's say for a checkout screen now, and then there is a logical bug on the production. So it gives this easy access, so we could easily push. So instead of telling the user to go re-update, download an update from the respective stores, they can easily just log on to the application again and test and see it's working fine. So developer experience simple. It's very simple, CLI integrated that fits into CI/CD. So which means we can actually use it for continuous integration with GitHub. Yes. And then final thought, it's ultimate safety net for mobile developers. So it's safe, it's time efficient, it's more like should I say it's just a perfect way of managing our applications, yes, because we don't have to basically start going through a whole lot of process of waiting for 48 hours before the update gets to the end users. So thank you. That will be all from me. I'll be open to questions if there are any.
Mm, so marvelous. And now I see a chat. We haven't any questions, and but we have time, and maybe you can share useful resources or links. How we can start it, and when we should start.
Oh, okay.
Because you're in your book, I
Sure.
started searching. I found one article. I found one package at PubDev. How to start? But you are familiar with this, and maybe you can explore.
Okay. So the best way to start with Shorebird, you just go to shorebird.dev, and there you actually get to see the documentation there. So it's very easy following up with your documentation. You don't have to add a lot of package to your Flutter code. So basically, after creating, you can actually add it to an existing Flutter project. So even if it's let me say you started and deployed it a long time ago, of course you can actually continue with Shorebird. So all you have to do is on any Flutter project, you just run Flutter and pop you just have to run Shorebird in it. Yes. So from the slide, let me take us back there if you don't mind. So yeah, all you have to do is run Shorebird in it, and then it automatically
You need
creates
to
the
tell us so the
shorebird.yaml
classical.
package. I didn't get that.
Uh-huh. And I
Can you come
share
again with
it.
your question, please? Okay. So
No,
you
it
can
wasn't
just.
question. I just
Oh, okay, okay, yeah, yeah, I can see that now.
oh, we have
So
one
here's the
question
show
from
bed link.
Ebenezer. Okay.
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 Um,
So
maybe.
Hello? Yeah, can you hear me?
yes, we can hear you.
All right, great. So my name is Ebenezer. I am a mobile developer in Germany, Cologne. Yeah. So my question is, I don't. It's not necessarily like a question, but I just wanted to confirm. I've been doing like Flutter for about 2 years now. And then I haven't used Shorebird before because I have built like a CI/CD pipeline directly to Google and Play Store, and so I just push directly there and just wait for 2 days for the approval. Most. My question with Shorebird is, does it support assets? Say I change like some UI changes and then I added some assets to it. Does it support that? Because most of the times that my if I don't do any logical changes, is so they are just so like UI or some here and there assets files or fonts that I need to change for particular screens. And so does it support assets too as well or no?
No, Showbase does not support assets, so it only supports that files. So files saved in the that, so either your logical code or UI change that does not require an asset. Yeah, it supports that, but it doesn't support an asset like, let's say, images, audio is added to the asset folder. Fonts, yeah, it doesn't support those changes.
Oh, wow, that's okay. And then my last thing is, if I push like a change through Shorebird and then it's gone to the users, right? The users are now using it, right? And then I do another push to Play Store through the CI/CD, and then is there like will there be a point where the push I did through Shorebird is being like fact checked by Google or App Store, App Connect, that maybe the push I didn't fit some or like violated some things in there. I don't know if you understand my question, but as is the two aligned, like in terms of I can push something directly to the users to use. And then later, when I do like a large build and then I want to push directly to App Store, and then of course, so it means that I have added that code I pushed to the users directly, plus the major updates I did, and then now pushing to Play Store. In case I push to Play Store and then they say, so the like I had a problem with what I pushed to Shorebird. Are they both aligned, like in terms of like violations or any? I don't know if you understand, as in like what I'm trying to put.
Okay, okay, let me help you out, Dave. I should get you correctly. You're saying, let's say for instance, you push an update with Shorebird, like the user downloads your application from the app stores, the respective stores, and then you push an update with Shorebird. If it's going to, and then you make another to the respective stores and just downloading it, if it's going to, like, should I say, well, there are actually no violations, Dave. I get you. That's the question you were asking, right?
Yes, yes. So I wanted to know, are they both
Okay.
aligned? Say Shorebird and then those so respective platforms like App Store and then Play Store.
Question.
Yeah.
Yes, of course, they are both aligned. So, like you said, Showbait is more like pushing for bugs, fix, UI fix, or a new UI updates. Yes. So, yeah, of course, they are both aligned. So, all you have to do is you don't have to push a major change using Showbait. Yeah, I think that might conflict your application, but the best thing to do is use Shorebird for code fix and little change and twitch in your UI. Yes, that works fine.
Right.
Then use the respective stores for major updates.
Okay. So I have like one quick example, right? Um, ye,
Okay.
the last week Friday, I got an so like I'm building a product and then using that I got a rejection from Google saying that I should use. There was like a wording issue. So instead of using um, continue, no. So instead of using choose my current location, so they told me to use continue, so just to prove access, to not lead the users to doing what I want. And so yes, I got a rejection. So in a case where I use like Shorebird, for instance, and then in my first push, in my so it has been pushed to App Store, Play Store already, right? And then I do like a minor change where for the button, for me to use continue, I use click here to pick your location or choose this for your location, right? If I do so that change, apparently for Google will say that it's not the right thing, and so they will reject it, right? But if I
So,
pass it through Shorebird, it might go through. So I'm saying that in this case, if I do my
yes,
major build and then I push that to App Store, so it's Play Store, right? And then they see that instance of where I need to change that word in. Will they prevent it from going live on Play Store, but the users will still have the correct version of it?
yes, the users will still have the current version of it. So until you've resolved whatever issue you have on the store, yeah, you can actually make this updates to the users. Yes, so build is approved, yeah, from the respective stores, then the users can
Right.
now go and update to the newer version.
So the reason I'm asking this is the alignment issue. Once like Plato uh, prevents like subsequent builds for me because the users are already using it. I'm leading them already. So that's causing trouble, or we are good to go with that.
That's a tough question. In a case like that, I would say you should just be conscious of what you push to your users using Shorebird because, of course, Shorebird have a CI which you can integrate also
Right. Yeah.
on GitHub. Yeah, on GitHub. Yeah, so they could actually help you take care of all of these instances.
Mm. Okay. Okay. I just wanted to align with to be sure about the alignment between both things because I don't want to I don't want to be in the bad books with Google as well. So yeah, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks.
All right. All right. Welcome. Okay. So
Okay, so we haven't other questions, and thank you, Ebenezer, for your activity, and you did this very, very interesting and of exciting topic. So, okay, one more time, Marvelous, biggest thanks for your time, biggest thanks for your talk, and I hope to see you in our next events. We have
of
always
course.
in person, hybrid, or online. So Flutter developers always are welcome.